Good morning, thank you for joining me. I hope everybody's well today. Welcome to another video. And today, do you know, I put my collar outside my cardigan so it looked proper before I started, and it put itself in again before I even started. Now I'm feeling like that looks worse. Anyway, that was an immediate digression before we'd even started, wasn't it? Welcome, thank you for joining me. I usually try and do a Q&A video about twice a year-ish, I would say, perhaps a little bit more regularly, and I'm pretty sure the last one was during Vlogmas, so it seemed like June was a good time to do another one. So I asked on Instagram a week or so ago for your questions, and I have lots. You have asked lots of questions. So without further ado, I'm going to jump straight into them. Actually, I'm not. That's not true at all. I'm going to answer a question that you haven't even asked. It's the question that I get asked, in fact, two questions that I get asked more than any other questions. The first one is, where'd you get your glasses from? This particular pair of glasses is from, God, I can't remember the name now. Is it Select Specs or Specs Direct? I will put a link in the description box. They are super cheap and very good, and they arrived quickly, and I've now got 3 pairs from them, not sponsored, all bought with my own money. I feel like I need to say that, not because it's amazing that I've bought something with my own money, but because I'd like to make it clear to you guys when you are being sold to. I think that's important. I like that on the channels that I watch, so I like to try and give you the same transparency. That's a good word, isn't it? Transparency. So yes, they are from, which is, I think it's Select Specs. It's Select Specs. I've just checked. I'll pop a link. I think I've got a discount code for money off your first pair or something. I might have, I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, they're cheap as chips anyway. Right, that's the glasses out of the way. The other question I get, sorry, I'm making myself comfortable. Not quite comfortable yet this one. The other question I get asked on at least a weekly basis is, please can I have your eBay account details? I don't share my eBay account anymore. Sorry, I should also say at this point, for people who are new around here and don't know, my full-time job is selling on eBay. I sell mostly ladies' clothing, but anything else really as well that I can make a profit on that I come across in my life that I find. When I started out my channel initially, I sort of morphed into eBay content, and for those people who have been here a long time, comment below if you've been here since I made eBay videos, because that's a long old time, isn't it? There is a playlist down there for anyone who's interested of almost 200 videos or 150 videos or something, all about what I sell on eBay, how to sell on eBay, tips and tricks, all of that good stuff. So if you go to my main channel page, if you're interested in seeing that, that is all down there for you. But I don't share my eBay account anymore. As my channel has got bigger, I have learnt what I feel comfortable with sharing and what I don't. And although eBay is obviously quite a big part of my life and is what I do for a job, in addition to this, because this has become more of a job in terms of earning money over the last couple of years, although it's a big part of my life and part of my job, it's not something I feel comfortable sharing with 13,500 people on the internet anymore. There are areas of my life where although I'm quite open and I'm naturally a bit of an oversharer, there are areas of my life that I have learnt that I don't feel so comfortable with sharing so much as my channel has grown, and so I don't give out my eBay account name anymore, just really because I'm just not comfortable with doing so anymore. Anyway, let's get into the Instagram questions, and the first question was from Chicken Bugs, and it's, can you play a musical instrument? No is the short answer. We are not a musical family in any way, shape or form. I did play the recorder at school. God, that must have been painful for my parents. Primary school that was. And I also, very ill-advisedly, started to learn to play the violin very badly. That wasn't good either. Yeah, let's just be honest and say not musical at all. Next question was from GemJars123. If you could change a decision you have made in your life, what would it be? I think it's nice when you are able to say that you I mean, I've been lucky. I've had a lovely life. I am having a lovely life. I have had a lovely life. There hasn't been too much discord and difficulty in my life. When I look back, I look back on it with great gratitude. That was a lot of G's, wasn't it? Great gratitude. And really, I feel quite lucky and blessed, to use a word that I don't particularly like, to have led such a lovely life. The decision that I come back to that I think I would have made differently or earlier is to work on my eBay business full time. I played at it for years whilst working for other people part-time, and I wish I'd taken the plunge and done that full-time much earlier than I actually did, because I think I could have made it into a really good business probably a decade earlier than I actually did. Clickerboodle asks, what are your top 3 favourite songs of all time? That is too hard. Off the top of my head, so I feel like favourite songs are the ones that are tied up with memories, good memories, and Purple Rain by Prince is a song that just takes me back immediately to my sixth form years. I absolutely love that song. It just reminds me so much. We used to play that on a cassette in a house that we used to congregate at this guy's house and play cassettes on his dad's hi-fi. And Prince Purple Rain album was one of them, and all of the songs on that album are so good, aren't they? When Doves Cry is another one. So Purple Rain would be one of them. Just let me see if I can think of any others. Probably something by ABBA, because Dancing Queen maybe, because it's just so uplifting. It makes me smile, and I love the movie. And ABBA again, soundtrack of my childhood and my teenage years. I love a bit of ABBA, and so uplifting. And then possibly, I had to think about this for a minute, Love Shack by the B-52s, because that reminds me so much of my years working on board the Canberra, SS Canberra P&O cruise ship. And we used to, the group of us girls who worked in the offices would go up to the ship's disco in the evening, and they used to play this, and we all used to run to the dance floor and dance to it. We used to have to wear these ridiculous full-length black skirts and very formal white shirts in the evening with black crisscross ties. I'll stick a picture in if I can find one here. And we used to have to dance it in the disco in these ridiculous evening outfits. But yeah, and it also really reminds me of my friend Tracy, who I worked very closely with on that ship in the crew office, doing all the crew admin and paying all the crew. And it gives me lots of good memories of Tracy. Tracy very sadly died a few years ago of motor neurone disease. But yeah, that just takes me back to happy times. I think my favourite songs are ones that take me back to happy times. Oh no, this is going to take me ages. Look, we're 7 or 8 minutes in and I've only answered 3 questions. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received? Asks the Princess Adventures. Now, I thought about this. I can't think of a specific piece of advice, not a specific one that comes to mind, but my dad would be my go-to person for advice in my formative years and as a young adult as well. My dad always gave very measured, sensible advice. He was always, I'm more fiery, hot-headed, and my dad was quite measured and sensible, and I felt would always give me good advice. Next question is from Grandma Goulding. How is your son? Is he nearing the end of uni? He is very well, thank you. He's been home just this last weekend. I say he's been home. He dropped in fleetingly to spend the night here on his way to and from Cornwall to go to a birthday party down there for the weekend. He's at Bath University. He's studying chemistry. Next year is his final year. I feel like he's been quite lucky around the COVID situation, because his first year was perfectly normal. Second year was messed up by COVID. This year has been pretty messed up by COVID, and hopefully the academic year starting September will be as back to normal as we can possibly be. If it's not, then it's going to be the new normal, isn't it? So we should just say, but yeah, he's got 1 more year to go. Next question is from Sleep Nannies. If you could go on holiday anywhere in the world, where would you choose? frankly, at the moment, anywhere that had some sunshine that was guaranteed, that wasn't interspersed with grey cloud and rain for days on end. I am just craving a sunshine holiday, craving, I cannot tell you. But if it was a money no object type holiday, it would be Bora Bora. It's a little island in Tahiti in the South Pacific. I went there when I worked on the cruise ships and I loved it, and I always said to myself I would go back one day, but it is eye-wateringly expensive to go to, so who knows. It's more fantasy at the moment than reality, let's just say that. Sleep Nannies again asks, what would be your weekend day out or weekend away recommendation? Sorry, what would be your UK day out or weekend away recommendations? Best weekend away, I think, is London. I think because I live in Devon, so we have a lot of countryside, which is lovely, but I love a city break. So for me, going to London is a real treat. I haven't been for a long time and I'm looking forward to going again. But yeah, London for me is a real treat. Next question is from Baroness_Pip. How much weight have you lost? Not as much as I would like to have done by this point in the year. I don't talk loads about weight loss on here. I have a Patreon channel. The link is in the description box below if you're interested in coming and joining us over there, where I make videos on almost a weekly basis, I think, about my weight loss and diet and healthy eating and all of that good stuff. So if you're interested in joining me on that journey, link is in the description box. Williams Marama asks, hi Caroline, how do you deal with the negative comments on social media? I am very lucky. I don't get loads of negative comments. I think don't go looking for negative stuff about yourself on the internet. I don't go looking for any of that. I'm aware it's there, but I'm not. What would be the upside of going to deliberately seek out negativity about yourself? I can't see one, so I don't do that. But direct commenting and messaging, the odd one or two. It gets easier the longer you've been doing it, to be perfectly honest. The first time you get really nasty troll type comments, it does knock you for six. But yeah, you just get used to it, I guess. It's not good, is it? But there's always going to be dicks out there, so if you can't hack it, you don't continue doing it, type of thing, I guess. If that answers the question. I feel like that was a bit of a ramble. AKA Mama112 asks, who are your current top 3 favourite YouTubers? Very pleased to see Tati is back. Glam Life I can't speak. She's an American beauty YouTuber. Tati Westbrook is her name. Tati, don't know how she pronounces it, but she's had a long break after some dramatic, she's a massive YouTuber, 8 million subscribers or something. She had a long break and she's recently come back and starting making beauty videos again, and it's lovely to see her back, so I'm looking forward to watching her content. I think my next favourite one is Moss Family TV, which was a recommendation from one of you guys when we did the YouTube recommendations in a live stream a little while ago. They're just such a lovely family. It's a family of 6, I think, 5 kids. I think she's got 5 or 4, maybe 4, I don't know, anyway. But they live in somewhere in the southern states of America, and it's just such a different, in the countryside, and just such a different lifestyle from me. She does cooking. It's just a lovely family. She doesn't concentrate too heavily on the kids, which I like. She mostly concentrates on herself, and it's just little snippets of their life and lots of cooking and just cozy, comfy, homey life with cooking, and it's just lovely. I really like their channel. I haven't got a third one that immediately springs to mind, so I'll leave you just with those 2 for the minute. Next question is, if you could have a dinner party with 3 famous people, dead or alive, who and why, and what would you eat? 3 famous people. I'm never that bothered about famous people, I don't think. Maybe Harry and Meghan, to ask what that's all about. What's it all about? Maybe them. I don't know. That's probably a rubbish answer. William and Kate would probably be much more up my street, I suspect. But what we'd eat, I don't know. Somebody else would be doing the cooking so they could do the menu as well. Does anybody else think there's nothing more tedious than deciding what to eat for dinner? Just at home, I'm talking about, not for dinner parties. Like on a weekly basis, just thinking of what you're going to cook. Really struggling with that at the moment. I'm finding it really very dull indeed. That's why I enjoyed the HelloFresh thing so much. Maybe I should do that again. But not with HelloFresh because they were too unreliable. Anyway, next question. New York Lady 14 says, hi Caroline, have you ever been to New York? It's my favourite place to go. Yes, I have been to New York. We went December 2019. We flew out to New York. We had 3 nights in New York, 3 nights, 4 days. And then we cruised back on the QM2 to Southampton, and loved New York. Really, really loved it. I feel like your first time, it's so difficult to, it takes a while to get into it, doesn't it, is what I'm trying to say. Find your way around and figure out what's what and where you are and all the things. And I feel like if I went back again, I'd do it so much better. I'd be more organised, and but when you've got sort of the lay of the land, you're better. I always think a second visit somewhere is in some ways better than the first, but absolutely loved it. Really hope to go back one day. Next question, which isn't a question, is from May Made It. May Made It. She says, not a question, I just wanted to tell you I enjoy your content so much. Hugs from Alabama. Thank you very much, May. That's very kind. And I do appreciate you guys watching this so much. I really do. It's every single one of you who watches and clicks like. By the way, click the thumbs up if you're enjoying. And leaves a comment. I really am grateful for your time that you are choosing to spend it with me. I don't think I say that as often as I could do, so thank you for that. BPain2 says, are you finding many of your clothes too large following your successful weight loss? Some of them, yes. I tend to buy clothes on the big side anyway, as many of you tell me in my fashion videos. I have got rid of quite a lot of clothes recently, but I feel like it's coming towards time to do that again. So yes. Same questioner says, are you still following a calorie controlled diet? Yes, not calorie controlled. I try not to count. I know myself well enough to know that weighing and counting isn't something I sustain long term. I know what I need to put in my mouth to make me lose weight and what I don't need to put in my mouth. So just basically it's making healthy choices. I haven't counted anything particularly, although I am aware of how many, I look at how many calories are in things. I certainly don't count them, but yes and no. I've had a few weeks off and then I restarted last Monday and I'm sort of back on the wagon at the moment. Next question, Mishma33 says, will you be going back to work with Ashley in the future? I have worked for Ashley on and off over the years, mostly when he's needed someone to fill in, never on a permanent basis. And I don't really, especially with YouTube being more, taking up more of my time now, I don't really have the time with eBay and YouTube to do something else as well, although I do sometimes crave the company that you get from working in an office environment. I feel like time-wise it just wouldn't really fit in anymore. Also, I'm probably not very good at taking direction anymore. I've worked for myself for a few years now and I don't want to go back to working for someone else. Michelle Moonlover says, where in the world would you love to go but think you probably won't? Love your YouTube. Thank you, Michelle. Bora Bora, as I said earlier. Essential Healing Direct says, what advice would you give to your 25-year-old self? I think the advice that I would give to my 25-year-old self is not to wait. For years I thought, I won't wear that because I'm too fat. I won't do that because I want to lose weight first. I don't, I work, so many, not just, but feel like do it now. If not now, then when is probably the advice I don't want to tie all that up with weight loss, because it's all the things I didn't do weren't necessarily tied up with weight loss. That was just an example. But yeah, the advice I would give to my 25-year-old self is, if not now, then when? Purple Metro 22 says, my husband would like to know what model Ashley's new car is. For those who don't know, Ashley recently bought himself a midlife crisis. Sorry, a new car, a new sports car. It is a red Ferrari, and it's, I think I'm right, it's 216 or 316. I think it's 216. It sounds like spaghetti. Honestly, car models. Is it Scagletti? Scagletti? 216 Scagletti, I think, but don't quote me on that. Beer Lambs says, is this Will's last year of uni? No, next year is his last year. What does he want to do? He would like to work for himself. He's in the process of starting a business at the moment, sort of internet startup thing that he has grand plans for. I won't tell you the detail because it's not mine to tell, but he would like to work for himself. That's his plan. Tamsin Kinch says, I love charity shopping. What is your most memorable find? Do you know, I can't actually think of something from a charity. I tend to forget things, you know. I'm always, the next one is the most exciting one, if you know what I mean. I don't remember. I've had some lovely finds in charity shops over the years, but nothing specific springs to mind. Sorry, that's a rubbish answer, I know, but literally nothing specific comes to my memory. I do apologise. Where would you like to travel to and why? Melanie Jane Weddercop asks. We've covered that. Disney Potter for life. Not a question, just to say you're absolutely fabulous and got me through lockdown. Thank you so much. That's such a lovely thing to say. Do you know what? Making YouTube videos got me through lockdown as well. It gave me a focus, and just the interaction with all of you guys was a massive thing that really helped me get through lockdown, particularly this last lockdown. My God, that was a hard one, wasn't it? Hope we never have to do that again, eh? Where are we? Kerry Jane 76 says, what are your personal goals for the future? To be happy, to be healthy, and to support my parents through their old age to the very best of my ability. That's it, really. Christine Mullen 58 says, I don't know about you, Caroline, but I'm ready for a bloody good piss up. Me too, Christine, me too. To be fair, I've had a few since we were able to go out again and see friends and all of that stuff. Don't share that on videos though, but yes. Rainy130 says, why did you start vlogging? I'm pleased that you did. Short version is, I used to write a blog. I started writing a blog in 2008 just to document my family life, and that morphed from there. In I think it was 2012 I made my very first YouTube video, but then I regularly, it was a few more years till I started doing more regular videos. It was just really a way of documenting my life. I'd never been successful at keeping a diary or anything like that as a kid, and I was I'd never done it long term, and then when I wrote the blog I carried on doing that, and it was it was the connection as well with people. So yeah, I would say the main reason is the connection with people and being able to look, it's a visual thing to be able to look back at. I often wish for my dad that we had more films of family life that he would be able to watch now to maybe jog his memory a bit of things we've done in the past. Laura Ann 69 says, whose poster did you have in your bedroom wall growing up? It was Duran Duran, Simon Le Bon. They were my absolute favourites, my teenage crush, teenage heartthrobs. And that has brought us to the end. I feel like I was very verbose in that. I talked a lot, didn't I? I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed answering your questions. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye bye.